In a striking turn of events, British rural communities are expressing their frustration with the Labour Party's leadership.
That the Treasury is driving this. Well, because I'm here to support farmers.
Right. Are you angry?
It's difficult to be angry on somebody else's behalf. That's like being... Yes, no, I'm not angry on someone else's behalf.
Right. So it's not about you. It's not about your farm and the fact that you bought a farm to avoid inheritance tax.
Particularly its leader, Sir Keir Starmer. Public dissatisfaction has taken the form of a petition calling for a general election, which has amassed over 2.7 million signatures in just 24 hours, with the numbers continuing to rise. This momentum highlights growing concerns about Starmer's policies and leadership style, especially among those in rural areas. Adding fuel to the fire is Jeremy Clarkson, the outspoken former Top Gear host and now a prominent voice for British farmers, thanks to his Amazon series Clarkson's Farm. Clarkson, himself a farmer, has criticised Labour's proposed policies, which he argues pose an existential threat to farming in the UK. The petition for a general election has become a rallying cry for those disenchanted with the Labour Party's governance. Garnering millions of signatures in a short time, it is seen as a powerful statement against what many view as Labour's broken promises and questionable leadership. Despite the petition's rapid growth, mainstream media outlets, including the BBC, have remained largely silent, further exacerbating public frustration. Social media platforms, however, have amplified the movement, with hashtags demanding Starmer's resignation trending and videos of protests going viral. This digital wave reflects a wider discontent that extends beyond rural communities. Clarkson's involvement has brought significant attention to the plight of farmers. His criticisms focus on proposed changes to inheritance tax policies under Chancellor Rachel Reeves. From April 2026, assets valued over £1 million could face a 20% tax. While Labour claims smaller farms will be exempt, Clarkson argues that these measures overlook the razor-thin margins under which most farmers operate. Clarkson's opposition to these changes stems from his own experiences. He has publicly highlighted the challenges faced by farmers, including high operational costs and limited profits. Farming is the only industry where you buy everything retail and sell wholesale, he remarked, emphasizing the precarious economics of the sector. Clarkson's protest was not limited to words. He joined farmers in London for the Tractor Tax March, despite enduring a slip disc and other health issues. The march was a response to policies like inheritance taxes on farmland and subsidy redirection, which many believe are pushing family-run farms to the brink. Clarkson has also criticised Starmer and the Labour Party for being out of touch with rural realities. Referencing urban-centric policies and lifestyles, Clarkson remarked that Labour leadership exists in an urban bubble, disconnected from the struggles of farmers who form the backbone of the UK's food supply. For many farmers, meat production and land stewardship are not just businesses but ways of life deeply embedded in British heritage. Proposed policies that threaten these traditions have understandably sparked outrage. They don't understand what farming is, Clarkson stated. It's not just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about people's lives, their history, and their future. While speaking from Brazil at an international conference, Starmer defended Labour's proposed policies, insisting they would not affect most British farms. He cited existing allowances and exemptions, suggesting that the £1 million threshold is fair and manageable. According to Starmer, families with typical arrangements would have up to £3 million before facing any tax burden. However, critics argue that this fails to account for the realities of farming, where land values and operational costs often exceed these thresholds. Farmers fear the tax could force them to sell portions of their land, disrupting family legacies and rural economies. Starmer's assertion that how farmers arrange their affairs is a matter for them has been perceived as dismissive, further alienating rural communities. Clarkson and other critics see such rhetoric as indicative of a leadership disconnected from the everyday struggles of ordinary citizens. Clarkson's critique extends beyond farming. He has questioned Starmer's overall leadership, accusing him of lacking vision and direction. This sentiment resonates with many who view Labour as more focused on optics than addressing real issues. Clarkson even compared Starmer's approval rating to that of Nigel Farage, hinting at a decline in public confidence. The petition calling for a general election has become more than a rural issue. It represents widespread dissatisfaction with the Labour government. Rural frustration, amplified by Clarkson's advocacy, has ignited a broader political firestorm. As the petition grows and public scrutiny intensifies, Labour faces increasing pressure to address these concerns. Starmer must confront the challenges posed by rural communities and critics like Clarkson if he hopes to regain trust. However, rebuilding this trust will require more than reassurances. It demands tangible action and meaningful engagement with those feeling ignored. For now, the future of Starmer's leadership hangs in the balance. The growing call for change reflects a deeper discontent that may reshape the political landscape of the UK in the months to come. Whether Labour will address these concerns or face an even greater backlash remains to be seen. What do you think? Could this be a turning point for Starmer and the Labour Party, or is it the start of bigger challenges ahead?
What is your message to this government?
Please back down, please.
And get the money from where?
Well, they've got 40 billion. I'll tell you where you go. Walk into any of the offices around here. If you don't understand what somebody's job is, fire them.